I'm Doug Stowe. I'm a woodworker. I also write about woodworking and I teach woodworking. And I've been doing this since about 1976. I moved to the Ozarks in part because it's a place where I could do woodworking where the woods were so beautiful. It's a place where you can see all of the native species growing, and that means something. It means that I'm able to take an environmental stewardship role in what I do. I think the woodworkers have an interesting opportunity, and we think of a woodworker as being someone who uses wood, but actually I think that woodworkers have an opportunity to reveal things that are important to people understand. So one of the things that I've been interested in myself is the use of Arkansas woods to help people understand how beautiful our natural setting is, and to have a knowledge of the diversity of our forests. So this box is made of walnut, and it's inlaid with cherry, a little bit of hackberry, sassafras, more cherry, and maple. And so if you talk to people, they'll tell you, oh yes, I know about oak, or oh yes, I know about walnut, or oh yes, maybe I even know about cherry. But they don't know about some of these other woods, and all of the woods growing together are what it takes to create a natural hardwood forest. So woods like sassafras and honey locust have an important place in the scheme of things. And so woodworkers have the opportunity to reveal things to people, things that they don't understand. So I always sign my work telling what the woods are on the back. And so here it says walnut with cherry, hackberry, sassafras, and maple. One of the things that really helps a woodworker is to understand that mistakes are a natural part of the process, and that when you're presented with a mistake, it's often the opportunity to learn something new or to change your design in some way that can make your product even better. For example, this little box here, it has a burl pattern in the top, and it had a little piece that broke out right there as I was assembling it. So I put in a little piece of inlay there, and then after I add a little tab there for opening and closing, you can see that I've created something very special from this box. And it's not a reject, it's something that's made more valuable and more interesting because of things that went wrong with it. This is another example of the same thing. I cut the top panel of this one too small, and so I added a little thin border of contrasting wood, and you can see how much more beautiful that made it. In 2000, I had at that time published a couple books about woodworking and written a number of articles for different magazines, Woodworker's Journal, Woodwork Magazine, and some others. And I found myself in a conversation on the internet with other people. I was concerned about the loss of woodworking programs in schools, because that's something that I had had and felt value in. And in my own shop, I was always watching how what I was doing was so interconnected with everything else. For example, in woodworking I was using math all the time. I was using what I knew about psychology. I used design principles. A lot of what I was doing was related to what I read. Every aspect of human culture is something that I could connect what I was doing in woodworking, and yet it was regarded as being irrelevant to children's education at that point. So that was when we started the Wisdom of the Hands program at Clear Spring School, which was really to bring the hands and the brain together in learning. Many years before, I had been restoring an antique Ford, and the man who was helping me had noticed, he said something rather peculiar to me. He said, "Doug, it's obvious to me that your brains are in your hands." And we'd don't think of that as being a natural thing. You think of the hands as being one thing and the mind being something else. But those words actually changed my life, because it made me start looking at what I was doing and realizing how much satisfaction I got from making things and fixing things and being creative in my life. And so the thing that happened was, from that point, whenever I would be doing something, I would be noticing my hands. And so it became really clear to me that one of the things that was missing from modern education was a way to purposefully or strategically engage the hands in learning. So when we started our woodworking program at Clear Spring School, it was not simply to have woodworking as an activity that the children would do. It was to reshape the way schools present learning to kids. So it's been a real fascinating thing, because I can see very clearly how excited the children get about these very basic human things. You know, the compulsion to create something that's of your own design. The ability to fix something that's broken is a whole form of empowerment that a lot of people don't have anymore. If something goes wrong, you have to call tech support and hope that maybe they can guide you through it. Or if something is broken, then you throw this one away and you buy another one. And so in a way, we become enslaved to a serial progression of devices that pass through our lives, when at one time, you know, people had much more control over what happened in your life. And so along with that loss of control, there's a sense of powerlessness. And so one of the things that we do at Clear Spring School, where I teach, is to try to put that power back into the hands of kids. And so the motto that I have on my blog is make, fix, and create. And these things are really essential to human beings. By taking pleasure in the moment, the smooth shaving from the plane, the scent of wood arising from the saw, the motions of our own bodies as we shape wood, we have the capacity of entering the kingdom of heaven, at least the woodworker's version of it, finding great pleasure in our work that others will discover in what we have done.